I don't tend to go for people who don't like me. So I'm sorry. Is that mean?
It's rewind, give me a couple of time, feed you a couple of lines, you gon' be a fan, even if you like it or not.
Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nandi. So as you can see, I kind of switched locations. I'm playing around and seeing like where I actually want to record. But today, as you can tell from the title, we are going to be talking about how to get out the friend zone. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So what is the friend zone? Okay, so the friend zone is basically like a non-romantic place that you would place your friends in. Usually this is of the opposite sex. So usually there is one person in the friendship who wants something more, and then there's always one person in the friendship who is not going to do it. Now, even though the friend zone is hard to get out of, it is not impossible to get out of. And so I am going to try to give you guys tips on how to get out of the friend zone. Now, keep in mind, I have never been friend zoned. I don't tend to go for people who don't like me. So I'm sorry, because I don't know. But, you know, if there's any confusion about it, then I'm usually like, no thanks. Or if I get friend, then I'm like, no thanks. So, but I'm going to try to help y'all because I have had some guys who, sorry, my cat's eating something. I have had some guys who I have had to friend zone. And you know, I'm not saying like if they would have done this, then they would have been able to get with me. But I do think that these tips will help. So, okay, let's just get to tip number one. So let's talk about some signs before we go on to tip number one. Let's talk about some signs to know that you are friend zoned. So, okay, the first obvious sign is if someone is like, oh, you're like a brother to me, or you're like a sister to me. Okay, this is obvious. Like if someone is like, you're like a brother to them, then I feel like that is like the ultimate, like, they're letting you know, do not even think about crawling out of this space. Like, don't even attempt to come out of here because it's not happening. Another sign is that they deflect your romantic advances. If you call them or text them, you know, they are not answering quickly, or sometimes they rarely answer. If you try to hang out with them solo, they're like, oh, let me invite so-and-so. Like they invite like everyone to come with you guys. They don't flirt with you. This is another one. I think sometimes, I don't know if it's just like you guys are relying on your own feelings, but sometimes it's like the other person has never made a romantic gesture to you in their life, like has never flirted with you, have never done any of that, and you all are just like, oh no, they're jigging me for sure. Don't do that. That's not the case. Okay, so they do not flirt with you. They talk about people that they like, and this is a big one, because if you are friends with someone who you like and they are telling you about people that they like, and you know, pay attention to the qualities of the people that they like, because you can see from the qualities whether or not you are even their type. Like half the time, they are describing people that are nothing like you. You know, like you'll either have like the same qualities, like maybe you guys have the same traits, but like physical traits are different. Something's different. Okay, so pay attention to that. Then another big one is if they play matchmaker for you. Like they're always like, oh, I have this girl that would be perfect for you. I have this guy that would be perfect for you, like whatever. So those are some of the signs that you may be friend zoned. So let's get into what you can do if you are. Okay, so how can you get out of the friend zone? Let me be 1,000 with y'all, okay? It is hard to get out of the friend zone, and I don't want you to necessarily dwell on it for too long, okay? If this is a person that you really like, touch on it for a second, but don't dwell on it, because it is kind of hard. Like once someone thinks of you in a non-romantic way, like unless they are interested in you, it is kind of hard to climb out of the friend zone. And so you have to decide whether or not you want to stay in contact with this person. So now that I got my disclaimer out the way, because I am not a magician here, Okay, tip number 1 is be a catch. So basically what I mean by this is stop putting that person on a pedestal, okay? If you have someone in mind who you would really love to get to know, really love to spend time with, don't make them your everything. Like if they call you, don't jump, okay, for them, because they need to know that you are doing your own thing. So don't put them on a pedestal, raise your confidence, be your ideal partner. So if this means that you need to work on yourself, if this means that maybe you need to have a little bit of distance from that person, then whatever it is that you need to do to be a catch, then that's what you need to do. And one of the most important things that comes along with that is knowing your self-worth. And if you don't have any self-worth, then I suggest you get some self-worth, especially if you are one of the people who you constantly feel like you are being friend zoned, like you're always meeting people, you're always interested in people, and they always seem to friend zone you, then I would definitely be like, okay, what type of person, am I the type of person that I want to date? And if I am not the type of person that I want to date, then what can I do to be that person? And then another thing that you can do while you're in this phase is see other people, please, okay? I think that is like the first thing you need to be doing. If you are interested in someone that you're friends with, obviously, I'm sure you have probably done some things to make it known by now. And you know, if you have and you don't really see anything coming back, then go see other people. Okay. And as crazy as it sounds, sometimes when you are like not paying mind to anybody anymore, then that's when they start paying mind to you. So if you need to go see some other people, then that's what you need to do. You need to date around and you need to make sure that you mention it. Okay. Don't just be having girls here and there or guys here and there, but you're keeping it quiet because you don't want them to feel no type of way. No, no, no. You need to let it be known, oh, I have a date this day, I have a date this day, oh, I can't keep them off me. Like, you need to be a catch, okay? The next tip is obvious to me, maybe not obvious to some, but that is to show romantic interest. If you are friend zoned and the person does not even know that you like them, we're not moving in the right direction. We're not moving in the direction that we need to be in. So definitely show romantic interest. Now, while you're doing this, you know, this could just be like a little, you know, maybe y'all are like, I don't know, doing something like, and you're laughing, you're telling jokes because you're funny, right? So you're telling jokes and you know, you laugh, haha, and hand goes on the thigh or something. I mean, keep it PG. Like, don't be like don't be like, haha, hand on the boob, nothing like that. Like, keep it PG. But definitely show the person that you're interested. And then obviously if you're not like subtle enough to like play it off or like be suave or whatever, then obviously you could just be upfront and just say, hey, I like you, what's good, what's up? The next tip is to try to spend one-on-one time together. And like I mentioned in the signs, to know, like in the signs that you are friend zoned, if you try to spend one-on-one time and they are constantly bringing their girls, are constantly wanting to bring other people with us, like with y'all, then that is definitely like, if you are trying to invite this person out, obviously like don't say it's a date, or you could say it's a date, let them know what's up, like put it all out on the table. But if you don't want anyone to come, then definitely make that known. Say, hey, do you want to come here? But it's only going to be us two. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. The next tip is to start small and work your way up. When you can wait for a second, then you have time to like be consistent, to constantly show up, to show them that like you are the person that they want. You know, when you are playing the long game, you have a little more credibility because they already see how you move and they already see what they already know what you're about. So they can kind of look at you and be like, you know, this person's always there. This person makes a lot of effort. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. It just depends on how you want to play it. And then the last tip is to accept rejection gracefully. Okay. This is very important. Now, obviously, this is your friend. So you don't want to be disrespectful. You don't want to be mean. I mean, people feel how people feel. Okay. And that is also one of the things that you have to realize and accept before you even try to get out of the friend zone. Because there is a reason that they put you in the friend zone in the first place. So nothing happens overnight. And if they do decide to take you out, then that's great. But if they don't, and they're like, no, I'm not interested in you romantically like that at all, then you need to be able to accept that too. And I think that that is a conversation that you should have with yourself at the beginning of this process, because if that is something that you cannot do, then this is not something that you should be doing. Those are all the tips that I have for you guys. I really hope you make it out the friend zone if that is where you're at. And if not, then hey, at least you tried. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.